I was feeling great all spring. I was excited. I was working my butt off, and I was starting to become the athlete that I was striving to be. And then home tournament rolls around, play great, and then practice, we ran some stairs, and the next morning I couldn't get out of bed.
Carley Jo Remmers was born July 23, 1996, in the cornfields of Philly, Nebraska, 1 hour south of Lincoln, Nebraska. Carley was born into volleyball. The moment she saw her sisters play, she had to be a part of it.
Ever since I was probably 5, 6 years old, I was just like, I want to do that.
She always talked about him. She'd sit there at games and she would just watch him constantly.
When we went to their games, she would always be on the court with him.
Remmers just had a knack for the game. Her skill became far beyond those of her age group.
I was probably 5th, 6th grade. I was doing volleyball skills that high school girls couldn't do. And my sister was a club volleyball coach at that time. I remember her and I sitting in the car, and she was like, I need you to come to practice to show these girls how to serve. My sister's college teammates come up to me and tell me, you're gonna be really good one day, or even college coaches would come up to me and be like, we're gonna watch you throughout high school.
Remmers became a star at Freeman High School. Her senior year was a Hollywood script. Remmers won a state championship and capped off a 33-0 season.
Big block, did it fall? It did! Championship point, Freeman wins the state title.
It was awesome to be able to share that success with a senior class that I have literally been playing sports with ever since we were in kindergarten. It was really, really cool to grow together and then finally showcase what we've been doing as kids.
Even before her state championship season, colleges did come knocking, but not the right one. However, in Chicago of 2014, that changed. A newly hired head coach was aggressively hoping to fill upcoming roster spots and saw a player that opened his eyes. That was Ohio's Dean Webb.
I just remember a kid that hit the ball really well, had a good arm. At that time, she was a junior on a team full of seniors. So a year young, but still holding her own, and we knew at that point that's going to be a high-level player.
I was standing there, and these two people were standing beside me, and I didn't know who they were, and it was Dean and Maggie. And they started talking about Carley, and kind of, maybe I should say something to them.
And I was just like, what? Who are the Ohio Bobcats? I was like, never heard of this school. There's something about the culture I felt like is where I wanted to go.
At a club tournament just before her first year at Ohio, Remmers landed from a jump and felt her back go stiff. Later that summer, Remmers would need surgery to repair a disc in her back. It was surgery number 1. Remmers was sidelined her freshman year, and other injuries kept her off the floor her sophomore year. Junior year, she finally got to show her skill, but an ankle sprain and concussion limited playing time. Once spring came and Remmers was healthy, she felt herself again. Carley was back.
It was honestly my best spring here. I would say that's the best ball I've played in college.
She was playing at an incredible level. I mean, I can't say enough how good she was last spring. I mean, she's playing at a first-team, all-conference level, no question.
But after a home tournament that spring, Carley felt severe back pain. It led to another back problem, which required her second back surgery. Remmers planned on returning for her redshirt senior year, but Webb intervened.
Dean just kind of slowed me down and just kind of brought me back to reality and said, you know, we could say that, we could push you until you need to be back for next season, but I care more about you as a human being.
I'm a dad, and I have daughters, and volleyball is important, and we spend a lot of time and a lot of effort and all the stuff we do to try to be successful, but it's not life, you know. And the first thing I thought of, I was like, are you at age 30 going to be able to lift your child? That's the first thing I thought of.
Remmers made a life decision to medically disqualify.
And she just said it just felt like a weight come off her shoulder. She just felt like, thank you. You know, she just needed that. And she was telling me it just felt like a sucker punch, you know, to the gut. Like, here we think we have 2 more years of watching you play your dream, and all of a sudden it's come to a halt.
But I think in the end, you know, volleyball will always be there. Even if I can't play, I can either, you know, coach, you know, I can still watch, I can still, you know, just play some fun, not high impact volleyball, but like you have to kind of look long term for those kind of things.
August 31st, 2018. Remmers' second back surgery was right around the corner, And it just so happened that Ohio was in town to play Remmers' childhood team, Nebraska.
As a coach, you don't get to control a lot, but then there's some moments that you know that you can create something pretty special for someone.
Webb had orchestrated a moment that Remmers would never forget. That afternoon, Webb surprised Carley with the honorary start in front of her family, friends, and state. Nebraska welcomed her home.
And they announced my name and just an uproar of the stands. Like everyone was just cheering, and I knew it was going to happen because just growing up on Nebraska volleyball, I knew that whenever someone is from Nebraska, it's just always an uproar. And I just remember as a kid, I was like, oh, like if I can't play for Nebraska, like I want to be able to be on a team who will play Nebraska so I can actually get to feel that. And then it happened, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is actually happening. And it was something that I'll never forget. I'll never forget that environment and the atmosphere of that day.
It kind of was a very fitting ending to a career. The last time she wore the jersey, the last time she was introduced, the last time she was on the court was in her home state, in front of her fans, in front of family, and all those things. It's tough the way that the whole career ended, but it's beautiful in the very specific way that it ended also.
Yes, it was bitter in the sense I didn't get to play, but it was sweet in the sense that I actually got to live out part of that dream.